The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 37th edition of the Community Pulse. Once again, we have a fantastic show lined up with some amazing artists and personalities here. The show opener was Tony McGreal. I'm not sure if many of you are familiar with Tony. He's a brilliant artist. He's been around for years. Does a lot of music on the radio for CBS. He's a fantastic artist. Please go check out Tony. I actually forgot to tell him I was going to start the show off with this song. I put it in a comment, though. Yes. And today's show, as you know by now, we have Chad Freeman as the co-host. This will be his second go at it. And today he announced another artist that he's going to be working on to bring onto the show. So that's fantastic news. Our featured artist is Tabitha Raines. You are all in for a treat if you haven't met Tabitha yet. I did put out a little montage for her. And I hope most of you have gone over to the channel to check it out, but you haven't. If you haven't, you're going to hear it tonight. And please go sub up and pay a visit to these channels. Yeah, our featured channel today, which I've already pinned at the top of the chat, is Scary Garcia. I met on Thomas Christ's show. Fantastic artist, and folk punk thought it'd be a great idea to have Scary Garcia on the show tonight. I'm going to play the opener, but most importantly, I nearly forgot to pay my respects and show gratitude to these 7 channels that have helped my channel grow, along with everyone else's channel in here. These personalities have done a fantastic job, and I always start off with Metalhead Hippie. He's on every Friday. He will sit for 5-6 hours, whatever it takes, to play whatever songs have been released throughout the week. It's a lot easier than harder than what I do. I just shout them out. But every Friday, to those of you that aren't familiar, every Friday he has a show at 4 p.m. And just send him an email, send him your track, let him know where you're at, part of the world-wise, and he'll play you accordingly, and he tries to make it where it's at your prime time, so you're able to listen to the song that you've submitted. Jeff is a great friend of mine, and he's just he does amazing things for this community, and we'll touch on something he did earlier this week. Then we have Pete John. I must say, Pete's episode number 83. I'll never forget that number. If I was still young enough to play hockey, too small to play football, but if I was young enough to play hockey, I think I'd wear number 83, because that was the first episode I submitted a song to, and found this fantastic community. Pete Johns is now on every Sunday at 5 p.m. All you have to do is go to the channel, fill out the form, hit submit, and watch your channel grow. And like I said, everybody in the community is will welcome you with open arms and all of these channels. And Thomas Christ, the You Rock show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Same deal. You go to Thomas's channel, fill out the form, and hit submit, and he'll play your song. As long as it's Wednesdays is the show. If you send it in by no later than Tuesday, chances are you could get on. The sooner you send it, the better the chance that you'll be played that same week. And that's where we met Scary Garcia, and that's our featured channel. Hetriani, I see you, brother. Jade Starr, every Thursday at 4 p.m. She has a fantastic show, does live weekly interviews. I was in that interview a little over 2 years ago. And once again, helping channels grow. Jade does some amazing things for this community, and congratulations to Jade. She is now a homeowner. So she's moving in, I think, for a week. She'll be setting things up, and I'm looking forward to the new setup. Independent Mini United every Friday at 8 p.m. She just show up in the chat, and there's a lot of people in the chat, and she will do her best once you show up to play your music. You could send her songs ahead of time, and it'll be better that way. Let her know that you're going to be at the show, and she will play your song. And I'm not sure if it's going to be flipped this week, but some weeks she does the talk, plays music first for the first 2 hours or so, and then goes into little discussions and topics amongst the community. And then other weeks it'll just be reversed. So your music will be played regardless. Chad Freeman, our co-host, a fantastic person, big heart. I don't have to say that because all of you know Chad. Chad has several shows, and he's going to explain, get into detail about what he's got going. But the one I always shout out at the opening of the show is Green Eggs and Ham. That's every Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Same deal. Chad will play your music. You can email Chad. We'll get into more details there. And then we have Thursday night, my man, 15th Bend, every Thursday at 9 p.m. It's the Rollercoaster, the Indy music Rollercoaster. It's a fantastic show. He is going to be taking a little break, and I think next week maybe, or the next 2 weeks will be the last shows. And he's going to be spending time with his family. He's going to be missed, but he'll be back within 3 weeks, I think. In the new year. But please show up Thursday, and you get more details when you get there. I think I pretty much covered it. I want to play our featured channel today. As I mentioned, Scary Garcia is an incredible musician, an incredibly kind soul, great supporter of these communities, new to these communities. And so please, once again, go over to the channel, follow the link on the montage. The link that's posted at the top of the chat, and I will have a montage posted. It's actually live now. And let's play this little montage. It's Scary Garcia. How great is that? A special thanks to JJ Folk Punk, who put that together for us. A brilliant montage. Um, Metalhead Hippie, what do you think? Wouldn't you like to see him on the channel? I would. Yeah, this is fantastic. Great stuff. What a variety of music. He's just an incredible artist. Please go check out Scary Garcia. And thanks for being here, Scary. I saw you. Yeah, so let's get on with the show. Perfect timing. Let's bring on our co-host, and it's Mr. Chad Freeman. Oops, I've got you on mute, and that's what I like doing to our guests. That's just
hello.
Great
to see you, Brink.
Yeah, and go ahead.
I was just going to say, and happy to see all the familiar faces out in the chat. A lot of great people here. Fantastic being a part of your show, and I love what you do. So excited for tonight because I've been such a big fan of Tabitha for so long, and she's one of those artists that just gets better and better as she goes, and this is going to be so great. So much fun.
Well, that's fantastic. Andy, I haven't met you.
That's Brothers on Guitar. Andy.
Oh,
so that's who I was talking about.
Your ears must be ringing because Chad was talking about you backstage, and yes, hopefully we can get you onto the show soon. Yeah. So yeah, we do have quite a bit of amazing artists coming up on this show next week. Let's not forget, we have my good friend from Canada, lives nearby my place, by the name of Amy Wallace. You will all get to know her. And then we have Roque.
Nice.
Yeah, with Lady Campion as the co-host.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Yeah, and then we've got Hetriani coming on the show. I'm just trying to clean up some dates here because I also I know Joe and Barry Glenn are out there. Hopefully I can get Joe and Barry Glenn to come on to the show. Maybe I shouldn't have put them on a spot here, but I have so many artists I want on this show. Yeah. I just want.
You put it out there and it'll happen. That's like the whole thing with the Brothers on Guitar. So yeah, it'll happen. So
yeah, for sure. And like working on getting Doorways into Music on the show.
Nice.
We just have some amazing talent. So let's talk a little bit about you before we bring on the featured artist.
All right.
What do you got going on right now, Chad?
So you do this almost every time. It's the Sunday show is called Ham Sunday. So the green eggs and ham is me and Carrie, because basically I'm ham and she's green eggs. So that's the Tuesday show. It's kind of like it's basically whatever the heck we want to do. We just like to be silly and have fun on that show and include music whenever we can. But yeah, we do movie shows. We do whatever topics. And Carrie, though, came on last night for the Ham Sunday, and we did a special show for Alex Strong to spread the word and raise awareness and raise funds, hopefully for her and all of the medical issues that she is dealing with. And that went really well. A lot of people showed up, fantastic panel of people performing. So, and Allie was just floored from the fact that I wanted to do it to begin with, and then also just her and Chris Sunstake both were just overwhelmed with the love that they felt. And I think that's the big part of it, is just letting them know that, hey, we know you're struggling and want to put this positivity out there and want to try to help in whatever way possible. So
that's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing you did. And please go ahead and put out the post. And the link.
Yeah, I'm not going to drop me, this was a combination of Chris, me, and Carrie.
Right?
Ali Strong's story. Oh, nope, it didn't let me post it. I'll send it to DJ.
Yeah,
Um,
because as I said, I'd like to help out where we could
yeah,
on behalf of the community pulse.
yeah,
And like I said, I was on the couch and I was out by 8 o'clock, 8:15, I think.
yeah,
Lights
yeah.
out for me.
I know DJ's got the GoFundMe page. He can share that out. But also in the description of last night's show, we shared the Ali Strong story. It basically gives a breakdown of everything that she's dealt with and is dealing with. But basically, right now she is unable to actually eat, and she can hardly keep liquids down even, and she has to go on a feeding tube, and she is down to like her elementary school weight. So yeah, it's a very scary situation, and sadly there's a lot of fighting with the medical field, and them saying, well, there's nothing wrong, and that sort of thing, and just a lot of red tape as well. So it's very, very stressful on the top of just the horrors of all of this, and then also the cost of it. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we're definitely gonna help out where we can. If anybody wants to
Yeah.
follow that link that DJ Big Red is posting up there, and you can also, as Chad mentioned, you can go to the show last night, and you'll find the links there. And yeah, please go offer up some support if you can. Yeah. So yeah, you did tell me before, and I thought I had it right, and I'm sure DJ's
It's okay. It's
listening.
okay.
So
It's okay.
yeah, no, I got to get it right.
So the idea is this. So the idea is this: is that Ham Sunday, because of course ham, I incorporate that into everything. Headphones and microphones is where the ham comes from. For those that don't know, that's a Facebook group that I started before I actually started streaming, just for promoting music and artists. And so the Ham Sunday is that show is more of based on the chat for the most part, because almost all the shows I do are very programmed, but that one, it's more of, oh, this artist is here, this artist is here. Oh, and I let people request things. So people in the chat can say, hey, can you play this video? And then it's like that. So it's more of a Sunday where it's being built. And I like to say that it's ingredients. All of the playlist is the playlist of ingredients once the show's over. So that's where the Ham Sunday comes from. And then again, green eggs and ham. I'm the ham, Carrie's the green eggs. We're both pretty big ham, so.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, explain to the audience that have just met you for the first time what those things are.
Oh, the
Green eggs,
Funko
yeah.
Pops. Oh yeah, I am a huge collector. That's the thing, is that I'm just a collector of anything and everything. That's how I am with all of these fantastic people on YouTube, and this is something that I collect. Funko Pops. This is one of my favorite ones here. That's King Leonidas from 300. This was the original one. At one time, this was going for like $350. I'm not sure what the value of it is now. They did a new one. This is the more recent one, but King Leonidas to me, he embodies hope, and I love the movie 300, and I love that pop, and the fact that it's worth that much money makes me love it even more. But yeah, no, I have too many pops, but yes, I like to display them from time to time, and show off different ones. So
And it's Funko, right?
Funko, yes,
Okay.
yep,
Gotcha.
Funko.
No, you know what? I seen something like that right next to where I work. They have a little pop-up store,
Hmm.
and actually seen those. And I'm going to take a picture, and you're going to tell me if it's worth me getting for you. I'll send them to you. It's like a pop-up store where it's
Right.
like cheap, like on the cheap, everything in
Wow.
there,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Pretty cool. All right. So yeah, we were talking backstage. We broke Crimson Crux's heart.
Well, to be fair, if Crimson Crux is watching, um, he did the show with Liz Day, which I so would have loved to have done. So it's only fair that I get to do the Tabitha. Because, and here's the thing: is that Tabitha, she's another one of the artists that I've known for quite a while now. It was April of 2023 that I first met her, and it's just been so much fun to watch her grow as an artist and a musician. And that's what I was saying about how I'm just kind of a collector at heart. Like I will connect with you know artists and kind of follow them, and then do what I can to help push them along as well. So, and definitely Tabitha is one of those. She's one of my absolute favorites, and there's nobody as young as her right now in this community that is as good a songwriter, storyteller, musician, vocalist, and filmmaker. I mean, it's everything. She's a whole package, and she's so young to be where she is. It's just so exciting.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and just to clarify, everybody, um, Chad approached me and said, I would really love to have Tabitha on. I think it'd be really cool. And then no sooner than maybe 3 or 4 days later, Crimson Crux calls me saying the same thing. So I thought, man, this is pretty cool. We have to have her on the show for sure. So
Yeah.
I don't want to keep her backstage for too much longer. I know the song that you chose is a song from Tabitha. Would you like to play it and bring her on, or bring her on and then we can start the show?
Yeah, we can go ahead and play it, and then we can talk about it
Let's
afterwards.
do it.
But yeah, no, this was one of my favorites of hers until she released another song that we're going to play later in the show that she picked. I would have picked it because it's my absolute favorite, but this song is just absolutely amazing and fantastic video too.
All right, and the song title is called "Secrets of the Steep." And let's play it. Let me just minimize this.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Isn't it? All right, let's get back on.
Yeah, she just creates magical worlds, I feel like, with her music. Just love it so much.
I'm glad you said filmmaker because that was one of the questions I had. Um, um, Comments that I was gonna make is the work that she puts in the
Oh yeah, the
videos. It's just
presentations. Yeah.
it's amazing. So let's bring on our featured artist, Tabitha Raines.
Hello, hello.
Whoops.
There you
I was
go.
expecting it to be muted, but I forgot to turn my camera back on. Hi, guys. I
Hey,
want to thank you
Tabitha.
guys so much for having me. I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah,
We're
super,
glad to
super
have you.
excited. Super
Yeah.
excited to have you. Yeah. So fun. Like I was just saying, your songs, I feel like you create these just magical worlds that I can just get lost in. It reminds me of like the filmmakers that I love. It's just like so open and just so like enchanting. It really
Thank
is
you.
so
Yeah,
great.
I love filmmaking and movies. One of my favorite, actually, I guess it is my favorite director is Tim Burton. So I get a lot of influence from the whole Tim Burton vibe. I love fantasy and that kind of thing. And when I first decided to start releasing music, I was really going for the whole fantasy fairy tale vibe. That was what I was
Hmm.
trying to create.
Yeah. Well, you definitely nailed that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that ending, the sound
Oh yeah.
that
Yeah.
that could even be a Quentin Tarantino type.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got that feel. That's
Well,
just
well, that's the thing is that when I think of filmmakers that I absolutely love that I like create universes that I get lost in. Quentin Tarantino is one of them. Zack Snyder, my favorite filmmaker, is one of the others. But you create music somehow that does that same thing to me. It has
yeah.
that whole like cinematic world vibe. So it's
Thank
very
you.
magical. Yeah. Um, Dark and haunting at times, but yeah, just magical. Um, so
Yeah,
w-
I love creepy music.
yes, and that's what where me and you definitely connect as the love for the dark, the love for the creepy,
Mhm.
and yeah, one of my favorite artists of the community, uh, because we love Halloween. I think of about the same amount, so that's
Yeah.
definitely where it's some way that we connect. But why don't we start for you at the very beginning, when you first fell in love with music? Do you remember what it was that made you, you know, just first appreciate it, and then kind of go from there into actually doing it?
Well, I don't remember an exact moment where I was like, "Wow, I like music," because when I was a baby, my parents would have music playing for me when I was like taking a nap. Like I very much grew up around music, but I do
Hmm.
remember when I really started to feel like I was falling in love with the whole fairy tale
Hmm.
orchestra thing is when I went to Disney World when I was like 8 years old,
Mm.
and there was a show that we were at. I can't remember what it was, but it was at Disney World, and the whole place was shaking from timpani and the strings
Mm.
and all this exciting stuff was happening. And that was one of the moments when I realized, hey, I really like orchestral music and I really like the excitement of it. And so that's about all I can think of when it comes to like figuring out that I liked music. But I've always
Right.
liked music. I've always loved music. So
Right. Well, no, that sounds like a great moment that kind of really clicked for you, and that makes sense. It would be, in that magical place that
yeah.
that would have been what really kind of solidified it for you. Um, do you remember any, or have your parents told you what they did play when you were young and taking naps and such? Um,
A lot of classic rock, the Beatles, bands like Rainbow, a lot of not really any modern
right.
music, a lot of older stuff.
Right. Which that's one of the things with you is that you very much your music and you personally have almost like this old soul, and I
Yeah.
think the connection to older music
Definitely.
is definitely very strong. So the Beatles, I obviously from that track there, I think anybody can pick up on the Beatles influence, especially with the way that
Oh
that thing
yeah.
ends.
Yeah.
Who are some other big influences though?
Rainbow, Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, also the singer, the original singer for Rainbow, Ronnie James Dio. And this is a modern artist that I used to get influence from. I don't listen to his music much anymore, but the Fat Rat, I was obsessed with
Mm,
the Fat Rat for a while, like in 2020. So I definitely got influence from him as well. And I liked a lot of obviously like fantasy and fairy tales and Disney movies, and so I'm influenced by that kind of fairy tale music like that and orchestra music.
right. Yeah. Which one thing I feel throughout most of your music is the whole like I call it psychedelic pop with the
Yeah.
period of the Beatles from like Magical Mystery Tour onward. I get that feeling with all of the orchestra stuff. I think it kind of just meshes with what you were talking about, like the experience, with the Disney and falling in love with
Mhm.
that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
because I love orchestra. I love orchestra mixed with rock and
Hmm.
pop, and that was what I was really trying to create when I first started making music. I was like, I want to bring this whole orchestral element to pop music and
Right.
rock.
Yeah. We were talking backstage about what you used to record and when you first started. Why don't you tell us that story about when you were 13? It's when you basically said, "Hey, I want to record music," right?
Yes. So I mentioned that I was obsessed with the Fat Rat. So that was one of the
Hmm.
artists I was listening to, and I was listening to like this really cool orchestra stuff, and I was like, I really want to create something like this. So I was searching everywhere for like a doll that I could use to create music on, and I had a little keyboard too that I was actually learning a lot of Fat Rat songs on the keyboard, and that's around that time I was like, I want to start making music. So I started recording cover songs. I actually started out on YouTube just recording with just vocals over like karaoke's
Mm.
is how I started on my channel. Most of those are private now, but that's what I used to do.
I love
Yeah.
it.
And
I'm
and
gonna.
you found though a free DAW, right? And you still use the same DAW, right?
Yes, I still use the same doll since all the way back then. Even though I know that there's technically better ones, I'm just used to it. I don't
And
If
like
and
you're
changing.
comfortable with something, you stick with it.
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And as far as that with DAW, what was the DAW? And you recommend it to people that are just starting out that say, "Hey, I want to try making music."
Yeah, it's called LMMS, and it's really user friendly, like I said, and it's free. And
Right.
it's great starting out because I had never done anything like that before. I was just starting out with creating music, and what am I trying to say? Basically, it's like I understood exactly what to do from the beginning because
Mm,
everything's so clear. There's a lot of features, but you don't have to know all these really you don't have to look up a bunch of tutorials. You can go
right.
on there and do basic things very fast.
Right.
Not sponsored.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
sound like
I'm gonna shout out a few of these premieres that released that were posted this past week, and then we'll get back into a couple questions. I know JJ had a question for you, Chad. If you can throw it up now, JJ, Chad will see it. So this past week, first I want to start off by saying this community pulse I haven't put it live yet. It's going to be live, and there's the link to it, and that's kind of useless. But we're going to post a lot of the songs that I won't be able to shout out because this week we have over 140 shout outs. So I better get going. I want to start off with the Community Pulse Extra. We had a pop up show on Thursday. at about 7 p.m. and it was called the Pulse Extra, named by JJ Folk Punk, and it's titled Strange Old Things. It's got 3 tracks never before released by JJ and Viv Sparrow, and I want to post the links for 2 of the tracks that were played on it: Swimming in My Dreams by Folk Punk, and then Once It Crossed the Sky, Little Green Men, Viv Sparrow. Just a fantastic show. It was just so cool. Hetriani showed up in the chat and on the panel, and it was just a really fun show of real nostalgic type music. It was just it was a treat. Please go check it out. I had a release called Mama 11/11/22. It's my mom's anniversary.
Such a great song. Such a great song.
Yeah. Thank you. It means a lot to me. With all the wars and all the shit going on, usually, 60 years, being able to go to the one person that can,
right,
make sense of things somewhat. And yeah. So go check that out. Mamsie Graham, Empirism, Trevor Hansberry, one of the first people that came to my channel. No Lake, Music Connects People. That's my friend Andrea Amacucci from Italy. Zonis, a new band. Please go check that out. Road Living. We're going to hear more of Zonis coming soon. Metalhead Hippie. Special shout out to Jeff for premiering Hetriani's album titled Soaring Dawn. There's the link for it. Please go check it out. And we'll be posting the link. We can post now. Hetriani, if you've got it, DJ, for the new album. And please go check it out and support Hetriani. He's an incredible artist and a great friend of mine. Multinationals, JDL. What a great title for this band, and that they put together. And they put out a track called Wish You Were Here. Michelle Fred from, I think, the coast, BC. Amazing artist. Forest of the Wolf. Johnny Zent out of Spain. Wesley Media Hub. Many of you know Nigel. He's really starting to show off his guitar playing. He's an amazing guitarist. I never knew. This track's called Rocket Wire. Colorful Energy, Autumn. John Lemon and Lemonade. Another great Canadian, Far Beyond the Feeling. Ernst Vingerhoitz out of Germany. Rain. I saw Rain in the chat. She's just a fantastic artist. Rain, we really got to connect. I'd really love to get you on the show. 11 Drums, Cubic Lover 1972, put out something on the weekend this past Saturday. Gordon Lee Weaver, Buckle Up, Buttercup, great track. Mark Singing for a Smile, Under the Moon of Love. Sonic Grace, You Are Good, so inspirational. Lemmy White, quite the shredder. And Pictures Within, and Detective Agent Dark Nut. And then we're going to end this last shout out for now with Scary Garcia, our featured channel. Put out a track called G Spot. You must go check it out, please. And as I said, throughout the show, the remainder of the show, Scary Garcia's channel will be pinned at the top of the chat. Sometime during the show, please go check that out. And let's get back to why we're here, to feature the artist primarily. So Yeah, and I'm just so glad. Did you find that question that JJ put up?
I did not.
Oh.
JJ, retype your question.
Retype that question, JJ.
I had to make sure and go over and subscribe to Rain because I got to check Rain out because what you were telling me about her definitely piqued my interest because I definitely love stuff that has the darkness through it, dark and creepy and haunting and all of those things, and that's part of the reason why Tabitha Raines is so amazing.
There's the question.
I'm a little confused.
Me too.
Synesthesia. Okay, I've actually looked into synesthesia
There it
before.
is.
Okay.
I've
There.
actually looked into synesthesia before because I have questioned if I have it.
Mm,
Basically, it's like there's a lot of different types of synesthesia, but one is where when you listen to music, you almost like see it in your mind. I think some people actually like see colors, but I'm more thinking of when you picture a lot of vivid imagery and you almost see the music. And I may have that. I'm not totally sure. I definitely feel like I can almost imagine the song in my head, but I feel like I've been mixing music for so long. I almost feel like I see in my head the actual audio shapes, like on Audacity and stuff. So I don't know.
I would say that I can get why he asked that. That was not a term that I was familiar with, but yeah, I can totally see that you may
Yeah, me too.
kind of visually see the music as you're creating it. So yeah. No.
I definitely associate colors. I definitely associate color patterns with certain songs. So, like for Secrets of the Steep, for example, I associate a lot of red and like gray with that song. I don't know why. I don't know why.
One of the things that I would be completely honest, most of your songs I honestly don't know what they're about, and sometimes I have my own story that kind of comes to me, and that's what it is.
I like
But
that.
at the same time, it puts me in just this magical world. It was Secrets of the Steep. I mean, what was there anything certain you were trying to say with that song?
When I first started writing that song, it comes off my album 10 Secrets. I was obsessed with internet aesthetics and creepypastas, and there's a specific creepypasta called The Backrooms that I
Oh
was
yeah,
really
yes.
into at the time. And I'm pretty sure there's a level in The Backrooms, and I'm gonna try to pronounce this. It's called thalassophobia, I think, and I think if I'm remembering correctly, that's the fear of really deep water. If I pronounce that right, if I'm remembering it right. But at first when I was writing that, I was kind of trying to paint this picture of this really creepy endless sea of water. And that was how I came up with the title. It was originally going to be Secrets of the Deep, but that kind of it flowed weird. So I was like
Right.
Secrets of the Steep.
Yeah,
Sounds better
no,
than steep.
it's so awesome the way that's one of the other things that's just like really cool. The words you use, like I think JJ said it in the chat, just such a fantastic lyricist. Like
Thank
the
you.
words that you use and how you use them. Yeah, it's just so fantastic. And like, yeah, Secrets of the Steep. I don't know what that means, but at the same time, it's like it's like it's one of those things. Kind of the Beatles did this, and Nirvana did this for me, where they knew how to put words together, and even if those words separately didn't like tell you a whole lot, it still somehow told you this whole new, uh, it gave you this experience and told you this message. Even when if you try to break it down and try to really understand it, you might get confused because what do some of the words mean? So
I really love artsy lyrics. That's why I love when you were talking about how you kind of build your own story. That's what I've been wanting with my lyrics. I like lyrics that anybody can listen to it and come up with their own meaning for it.
Right.
So really
Yeah.
happy to hear that.
Yeah. Well, actually, the next song is one that I really want to hear what your take on the song is, and I'll tell you what my take is. But maybe after we listen to it, if Frank's ready to
I'm
go
ready.
to, yeah,
I'm
Fallen
ready.
Leaves. Yeah,
Yeah.
such a great song.
And that was
Any
Tabitha's first pick.
any setup for Fallen Leaves?
It's my first. Well, I've always had rock elements in my music, but this is the first song I really tried to go hard in the like 80s rock sound more than anything that I've released at this point.
Right. Yeah. And one of the exciting things is that you're getting to where you're experimenting more with the rock side and the the guitars and such. And there's so many fantastic guitarists in this community, like Hetriani, that would probably love to work with you and do a solo at some time. But yeah, because I mean, you don't yourself play guitar, right? It's all keyboards.
Are you
Yeah.
proposing something here? A little collaboration with Hetriani?
I like to throw things out into the universe and see what happens.
Yeah, I play a little bit of acoustic guitar, but guitar
Right.
kind of frustrates me sometimes. What I like about piano versus guitar is with piano, you don't have to really press it. You don't have to get to where you're really good at pressing down on the keys for it to sound like an instrument. But guitar, like it's so hard and my fingers hurt afterwards. So I can play a little bit of acoustic guitar, but I'm definitely not. That's not my main instrument.
Right. And yeah, so let's jump into Fallen Leaves, and then we'll talk about the meaning behind it.
Perfect. All right. So this next song by Tabitha is titled Falling Leaves. Let's give it a whirl. Spin.
They've locked us in the tower. They say we don't belong. Crowds scream like crashing thunder. They want us gone. But what do they know? We've seen so much more than they have. Oh, where would we go if they ran us away? Falling leaves remind us that we all fall down. They keep us in our cage.
so good.
You know, you mentioned Ronnie James Dio, and I just felt that influence there.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
just
Yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure.
fantastic track.
What's
Yeah.
funny is
Etriani must have loved that one, man.
I barely talked about the Dio influence in that track, and as soon as I release it, everybody's on to me. Everybody's mentioning Dio, which I don't have a problem with because I was definitely
Right.
really influenced by Dio in that track.
Right. Yeah. No, and I mean, there's just so many. Like it feels like a older song. It really does, in a
Yeah.
positive way, in a good, like a timeless older song, which
A classic.
yeah,
Instant
exactly,
classic. Yeah.
exactly, classic.
Thank
Um,
you.
Yeah. And I love when you do this quite a bit. You do the the fake ending or the reprise endings, basically where you bring it back up. Just love that. Such a fan of it. So
You think
good.
it's over, but no, it's not.
Yep. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had me fooled. I stopped the chat. I went over. It's like, oh, better get back to work.
Yeah. So that song, was there any certain thing you were saying when you wrote that, or when that idea came to you?
So there's a Pat Benatar song called "Invincible"
Hmm.
for the movie The Legend of Billie Jean, and I love that song. And when I was like, I really want one of those fight songs, like
Right.
the rebel songs. And so I looked to those
Right.
lyrics for influence. And another thing I was influenced by with the lyrics is just medieval stuff. And this is gonna sound really random, but when I was little, I used to watch a show called Goosebumps,
Hmm.
and there's an episode, Night at Terror Tower, I think it's called. And I was thinking of that episode kind of with the whole they've
Nice.
locked us in the tower line. Like, cause I was trying to create the imagery of this is like a medieval story. They've been locked in the tower by the townspeople. That was what
Right.
I was thinking of
Right.
for the imagery.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's so great about like the worlds you build like in within these songs, which uh it just seems like it reminds me of concept albums. And
I
uh
love concept
yeah,
albums.
I absolutely assume that you did, just based
Yeah.
off of the
Mhm.
songs and the worlds that are in there. Now, I definitely picked up on the like you were saying, Pat Benatar, Invincible, the kind of like fight, kind of revenge almost. For me, the song has, from the get go, reminded me of the Paul Revere and the Raiders song Indian Reservation. And then it clicked with me. Not using falling leaves as just, you know, a metaphor or anything, but that the song is the voice of the trees or nature, and it's nature's revenge against mankind, almost in that, like the M. Night movie, where basically the planet started poisoning people, the trees. And so I get that kind of like revenge of the planet, kind of
I
taking
love
itself
that.
back. So
That's
so
awesome. I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, so that's where it takes me, in that direction of just like, the an anthem for, like the trees. And they're saying that the falling leaves, we, no matter how big we are, we're still gonna fall, but we have to just, continue on. So,
Yeah,
but
I like that. Thank you for
yeah,
sharing that.
yeah.
All right.
I
I'm going
think
to do a couple more shout outs and we'll continue if I can just jump in there for a second.
okay. It
Yeah.
is your show,
So,
Frank.
not really. This is Tabitha's show. So yeah, I'm going to continue with some of the shout outs because like I said, I've got 141 and there's a lot more in the playlist. Ricochet, Tremor Bear, Turkey Hustle, great track. Michael, aka Zealand, always puts out fantastic stuff. Deed 1951, Turtle Drum with Alyssa, Coleslaw Shaw, Robbie Stingle had quite a bit of tracks he put out this week. The one that I chose here is Collies and Blue Healers, a great track, Robbie. Badass Brutus guitar with Matt Puglisi. I should be able to pronounce that, right? Being Italian. Santa Music out of Germany. Please go check that out. Her channel out is just fantastic stuff. She's got great stories. Emery Island, Ghost Mirroring. John Scher, who was in the chat earlier. I'd love to get to know John Scher a little more. We've been supporting each other for 3 years now. Charlie Tomstone, Nura's Guitar Channel, Boomster Black out of Winnipeg, Claire Litley. Not sure how many of you know Claire, but please go offer up some support. I'm trying to get her into this community. And yeah. Kathy A. Ogram, Wishing on a Star, a great track. Sorry, a New York Autumn. Dragon Orb Music, Nightfall. Synthworks, he's in the chat. The Ascent. Mark Wade, Strange Kind of Woman, a Deep Purple cover. Drummer Jim for Life, Insane Blasting. Gary Schaefer, another fantastic artist. He's going to be a featured channel soon. No Time for Tears. Greg Hutto. I'll just do just a few more for now. Caviar Kubrick, Still Lights. Anthony Rufo, you're going to find him on, he'll always be in Vince Gianella's chat. Great guitarist. David Joshua, I think he's got an original, but we've got the a cover here of Chris Isaac's Wicked Games. A fantastic job. I know it's one of Independent Mini's favorite. Dragon Snail Puppets, Ask Surrender. Great shows they put together. D. Lynn, Stages of Life. Stephen Ewart. My good friend Mary, I should have shouted it out earlier. Mary's out of Italy. Send Me an Angel, a Scorpions cover. I'm going to stop there. Mary puts together some fantastic videos to a lot of classic tracks. So yeah, let's continue.
Nice.
Pick up where we left off. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to make sure to say happy birthday to Pookie Ann. And
Pookie's birthday.
yes. And of course, yesterday was Son of Snake's birthday. Yeah, a lot of birthdays going on in November.
Well, you ain't gonna get me singing happy birthday. We can quickly get Jeff on here. He's in the chat. Just bring him on the channel. I'm sure Folk Punk would love that.
Yeah. So
yes.
Tabitha, talk a little bit about your process of when you sit down and you want to create a song. Walk us through that. How does that start for you, and what does that look like?
It usually starts in my DAW that I mentioned earlier, LMMS. I will go, if I want to create a song, I'll go in there, I'll just pull a random synth over, and sometimes I'll use my MIDI, sometimes I won't. It depends on, what mood I'm in. And I just start putting down notes. Either I'll start with chords or notes, and I'll just keep messing with it until I start to feel a vibe with it, and then I've got a lot of unfinished songs. I was going to say I just complete the song. Well, I've got a lot of unfinished stuff just sitting there, but that's how I start with my songs. I never start lyrics first. I always start music first, and then once the music is complete enough to start putting vocals to it, then I start trying to sing with it and figure out a melody. Then I start building the lyrics. I've always struggled with lyrics.
Wow, that's the thing is that I mean I would have just assumed in listening to your music that like you're one of those people that has like a journal of lyrics that you're jotting down, not that you're
I
working the
wish.
other way. Yeah.
I wish. Like that's something I want to get better at. I always tell myself I've got like 15 journals I don't have anything in. I should just start writing down lyrics. But it's like I can't do it. It's like I don't ever think of lines. I have to have a song to put that
Wow.
line to or I can't think of anything. But I hope to try to
Uh-huh.
get better at that because that would be fun for me.
No, well that's great though because I mean that kind of definitely ties back I think to what JJ was asking about. It's almost like the you really pull like the music inspires you and then that
Yes.
makes the lyrics come out, which is really cool. So
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
yeah,
something you should embrace because um lyrics lyric writing, it's not supposed to be easy. You're putting together a story, you know. You've got, it sounds to me, you've got that gift with the music. You can hear it, you can visualize it, and it's pretty much all ready to go. And that's what makes the lyrics special, is what I think, right?
Yeah, because like
Because
if you don't have a good melody or a good song, it don't matter how good the lyrics are.
yeah, you
The
can put a
music
whole
is
bunch of words together and just call it a song, right? But your
right.
songs are special, and
thank
and
you.
yeah, I think you're a fantastic songwriter,
For
lyricist.
sure. Yeah,
Thank
for
you so
sure.
much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. Like Frank was saying, definitely don't think of it as a weakness or that you're not a good at writing lyrics because you're absolutely fantastic. You just have that
Thank
process
you.
that that's how you do it. So yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Um, and then as far as like the music though, um, because I could just tell your songs are layers on top of layers on top of layers. Is
Yeah.
there a lot of experimenting or how does it work for you, the process of creating the music?
Well, I like this draws back to the orchestra thing. I'd
Hmm.
listen to orchestra music, like exciting fantasy cinematic type of orchestra, and I'd hear all this stuff happening. And when I was first starting out, I'm like, okay, there's all this stuff happening. So I'm gonna have this melody be repeated 25 times with different instruments, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it actually created a very muddy,
Mm,
big mess of a sound. But nowadays, I still like to have a lot going on in
hmm.
the mix as much as I possibly can. I've definitely simplified it over the years because it's easier to mix, and sometimes you realize you don't need all of those melodies. But I try to. I have a lot of stuff going on in my songs with effects and
Right,
drums and chords and instruments.
right. Yeah. No, and I love that. Again, it just plays into the uh, the magic of it because it's almost like not really sure where it's going to go or what's going to happen with it. Again, plays into the whole storytelling aspect. So yeah,
Thank you.
very very good. Um, yeah, and you actually have a new song coming out on Friday. It's going to be
Yes.
on Spotify. And what song are you covering?
I'm covering The Battle of Evermore by Led Zeppelin, and I'm actually covering it with an awesome guitar player named August. And I've did a cover with him before, Self Portrait by Rainbow. He's awesome, and this song is coming out on Spotify this Friday, and there is a music video coming, but I don't think that's going to be coming this Friday because it's not finished yet. So that will be next Friday for the
Right.
music video.
Awesome. And Led Zeppelin, is that another big influence as far as your music, or was it this particular song that spoke to you?
I definitely get influence from Led Zeppelin. I've listened to more Led Zeppelin recently than I have like over the years. Like I've been listening to more of them recently. I definitely get influence from Robert Plant as a vocalist.
Right.
So, and I've always liked the Battle of Evermore because it's got the Celtic fantasy thing going for
Right.
it. So I thought it'd be a
Right.
really fun song to cover.
Right. Yeah. And when did you get into the whole filmmaking side of things? Because I know that that's also an important part of what you do, and your videos are always fantastic. Not only are the songs great, but the videos are
Mm.
great. So when did you first get into, dabbling with filmmaking?
Well, growing up, I not only did I like music, I also loved filmmaking and directing. And for a while there, before I decided I wanted to start releasing music, I was like, I'm gonna be an actor. Wait, no, I'm gonna be a director.
Mm,
I loved creating films, and I had cringy little YouTube channels where I posted my little short films. So that's just always been a part of the music for me. Like every song that I make, I'm always picturing music videos for just about every song that I create, because I love watching music videos, and I think they're so important to music. And I hate it when artists don't release music videos. So it was just kind of something from the very beginning that I wanted to incorporate, because it was almost like the music video and the music, that's like one and the same. Like I
right.
have to have music videos.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I am just a huge fan of music videos, and I think that if people can't do, like, a big production or wherever, you just start somewhere and you do that, and
Exactly.
and then learn from that, and then build from there. But yeah, no, you always do a fantastic job with your videos, and always excited when there's a new song, and then even more excited when there's a new video. So Friday on Spotify, everybody, make sure you follow Tabitha on Spotify if you're
Do we
not.
have that link posted? Did we? I
It
think.
should be, because all of her links are in the song whip.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah. Uh, so hopefully that can get shared out. But yeah, you could just search her on Spotify as well. Anybody
I'm
that's on
looking
there. I'm
forward
a
to it.
big Spotify user.
And
Always
I'm a
super
huge
excited.
Zeppelin fan, so I'm seriously looking
Yeah,
forward to this one.
I hope you like it.
yeah,
I'm sure I will. I
yeah.
haven't heard a bad song yet.
Right, and you're able to definitely incorporate like the classic rock vibe into so much that you do. So to actually take on something like that, yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be great.
Thank you.
Um, and what I love about you is how you will go into different directions with some of your music. Like the next song that we're going to listen to tonight was one that I felt like you kind of changed things up and went into a different direction. And the video is very like old school, like VHS 80s kind of vibes. What can you tell us about uh, the Comet and the Rainbow, and the song, the video, everything?
The Comet and the Rainbow is definitely way different than a lot of my other songs. I hate to go back, I'm going back to lyrics. I keep mentioning lyrics first, but lyrically, I wanted it to sound a little bit more poppy, not like a pop song, because still wanted it to have the whimsical fairy tale vibe, but I wanted it to sound more sweet and innocent, because I started looking back on a lot of my songs, and I was like, man, have I ever written about anything positive? Have I ever written about anything just lighthearted and fun? And I was like, I don't think I have. So that was why I wanted to write The Comet and the Rainbow, because I'm like, I need a happier song. I need a more
Nice,
lighthearted, kind of bubbly song.
nice. Well,
And
All right.
I would say this though, even though you do have a lot of darker feeling songs, there's still this innocence that you capture with them. I mean, even if it's a song like the one we listened to previously, that's kind of like this revenge or this is fight. It's also at the same time, well, it's very childlike wonder and
yeah,
imaginative, and there's an innocence there. So.
yeah, and even with that one, I wanted to make it a little bit more positive. I wanted at the end to mention battle now behind us. I wanted it to have a positive, happy ending where you could interpret it
Right.
as it ending happily. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let's hear it. The Comet and the Rainbow.
If we could fly among the stars, do you think we'd fly too far? Or maybe stay right where we are? And there's a comet in the sky, rushing by on its flight. Could we believe that there's a man living on the moon? And we could think up so much more, you and I. But no, I don't want to, so never mind. If we were born upon a shelf, would we wish for something else? Or maybe read a book or two? Oh, if we had a pot of gold, we could buy some fancy clothes, or we could still just dress the same. That there's a rainbow hiding out of sight behind the trees. And if we knew just where to look for the end, and we could think up so much more, you and I. But we won't, 'cause it's too hard, so never mind. Let's stay right where we
So good. And so just magical.
Thank
Right?
you.
Everything you do.
Yeah, that was just amazing. Abe, just so you know, I was like piecing out when I saw Abe's name and I realized, oh yeah, I'm not on the panel. Just thought I'd
During
share
the
that.
song. Hey,
Abe and a
Abe.
few other people I'm waving at.
Yeah. And 15th fan, good to see you. Pendar.
15th Pendar. This is you got quite a bit of people. Please, everyone, go over and offer up some support to this fantastic artist. And Lori had a question for you. I think she's
Yeah.
talking about her son.
Yeah, she's trying to set you up with one of her sons.
She asked, how old are you? And are you something about a 20-year-old handsome Italian boy? And that he is.
Yeah. Well, we don't need Tabitha getting distracted
No,
by one
no.
of Lori's family
Shenanigans.
members. Yes. Yeah, no, Tabitha is super young. She is a teenager, and that's one of the things that's so exciting. Just from the time that I've known her, I've seen her, you know, uh, improve musically and with her videos as well, and just so excited to see what the future holds and what direction you do go, because you're just so fantastic with everything you put out this year. Has just been absolutely amazing. It really
Thank
has.
you.
Yeah. So
And
good.
Tabitha, I will say you have three, aside from Chad, obviously, you have three music streaming artists right now in the chat. You have Pete Johns, you have Metalhead Hippie. He's been here from the start, and now you're seeing 15th Band. You should seriously send your music, start from one and send it off. And I'm serious. You need to be out there more. And this is just my advice. Take it from a 60-year-old. You need to be out there more and just submit your songs, you know. And you've got some beautiful music, and we all deserve to listen to it. And
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
getting my music out there is definitely something I struggle with. It's very hard. It's very hard to navigate the whole social media world, and especially being I'm kind of introverted too, so I have a hard time making like
Yeah.
TikToks and things like that. But yeah,
Right.
thank
And
you.
you've come a long way with that, because I remember the first panel that we were on together. You were so shy, and I think that
Yeah.
this has been a good process for you to start, getting out there more. But
Yeah.
no, that's the thing is, there are a lot of great channels out there. You do have to go to them and send your video in, whereas, of course, me, I'm like, hey, you. Grab you and then throw you into the mix. So, but no, there are some great channels that she definitely should be getting involved with. And I'm happy to have her here, and for all of these fantastic people to be watching. So,
Wow, that was so nice. I love this. Her talent as a musician truly shines through every note and lyric. Very nice. Great to meet you.
Thank you.
yeah, definitely mesmerizing for sure. And
All right.
got some
Oh yeah, I guess
shout-outs?
I should do some shout
All right.
I was getting right into the artist here. All right. My good friend Brian Drums, and just a fantastic supporter of everyone's channel. Gary Hubbs. I want to shout out Gary Hubbs, the House Wrecker, every Friday night at 2 a.m. Eastern time. So Pacific time, let me do the math. What time is that? My math. 11 p.m. Pacific time. Anyways, on this past Friday, he too did a listening party for Soaring Dawn, which is Hetriani's album. Hetriani is obviously getting a lot of love and support throughout the community, as he supports so many others. Adam Holtz, I don't know why. I saw Adam in the chat. Another great track. Rose Ackerman music. Shall We Overcome? Danny Auger, Long for More, a demo, a pretty cool track. Mizero, that's the other artist I was telling you about, Chad. Mizero music continues, and I met her through Rain. And another fantastic artist, new to this, to my community. Anyways, I'm not sure if anybody's heard of her. I met her through Rain, who did a nice little happy birthday post and asked people to go over, and I did. And I'm glad I did. She's got fantastic music, and seriously, I hope to have her on this show soon. Take a short break. Enzo Castelli, out of France. Dwight the Hitman Bailey, the Cool Creek, Paula Benson, always puts a smile on your face. It's just as soon as she comes on the panel, anything she does, she's just absolutely beautiful. Dwight Carr, Next Stop, St. Pancras Station. Take Two Drums put out a cover of Babies on Fire, the Sammy Hagar cover. Live to Fly channel, One for Me, a John Hyatt cover, and a nice little story in the description on how we met his partner. And Jason Lemansky and Denise Levasseur, Samantha Lee's original, a beautiful, beautiful song she wrote for her son going to college, Letter from Mom. It's very moving.
She is so awesome.
Yeah. Wow. And Todd Pattison put out a real nice track called I'm Sorry. Before Lori goes to bed, Lori put out another cover called Lovin', Touchin', Squeezin' by Journey, together with PJ Kobe and a few others. So please go check that out and support. City in Snow, Shades of Gray, a Monkeys cover. Prince Prodigal. Prince was here earlier. Great supporter of my channel and a few others. He's got fantastic music. I really loved what he did here. He's called it Bloopers and Behind the Scenes 24. But this is not just like a blooper. This is his family. I don't know if he did this by design, but it was just, I just couldn't help but feeling that warmth inside. It's him, his wife, and his son. It was just beautiful. I love it. Please go check that out. Vivian Smiling, Always on My Mind, Pet Shop Boys cover. And Blue Gubrious was the last song I heard at 6 o'clock this morning. Because I crashed, I probably would have heard it on Metalhead Hippie's channel last night, had I not. A really cool track that he wrote. I think he said it was over 20 years ago anyways, titled Bridges to Burn. He finally put it out there. I'm going to stop there for now so we can continue. So the Comet and the Rainbow, a beautiful, beautiful song.
Thank you.
Yeah. I like that you wanted to go into a different direction. It was definitely, when that came out, it was a surprise for me because I was like, what? I like this, that you're doing things different. You're not just trying to get stuck into the same routine. You're definitely wanting to try different things and go different directions. And I think that's important for artists to grow,
absolutely.
to keep trying different things.
I like artists who have a lot of diverse music. Like Kate Bush. I like to use Kate Bush as an example because every song I've heard by her, they all sound entirely different. I don't know if you could all consider them a lot, going into a lot of different genres all the time, but she definitely has that. None of her songs don't all sound the same, is what I'm trying to say, and I really admire that about her.
Yeah. No, and that kind of goes back to, I think, with you being such a fan of the Beatles, because they're
that's another
the
one.
ultimate, the ultimate band. So and I mean, as far as musicians though, the Beatles, would that be your favorite band? That definitely.
Yeah, I forget about them all the time. I'm talking about my influences, and just now, like I was mentioning Kate Bush, I didn't mention the Beatles because they're my favorite band. They've been my favorite band my whole life, and I always don't even think about them because they've always been there.
Right.
And I just don't even think. I don't even I forget to mention them all the time. But yeah, they're my favorite band, and they probably influenced me more than anyone.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Yeah. I so love that because, the Beatles, huge fan. I'm kind of the same way, where it's just like always been a huge fan, such a fan that, yes, it's almost like you don't even, bring them up because it's almost like a given, or at least you
yeah,
feel
like
that
they're
way.
on like they're on a different plane. They're beyond everything. I don't mention them because, like,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
That's how I
Good way
am
to
with
describe it.
not just the Beatles, but also I'm that way with Michael Jackson as well. But yeah. So any others besides though the Beatles that you hadn't mentioned yet that you feel like influence you or inspire you? Is there any new music? Are there any indie artists of the YouTube community? Anybody?
I've got two artists to mention. One, Tori Amos. I get a lot of influence from her, especially recently
Nice.
because I
See
play
it.
piano too.
Yeah.
So I've been getting a lot of influence from her when it comes to piano. And an
Right.
indie artist who she's definitely she's growing. She's got a pretty decent sized fan base. Her name is Have.
Hmm.
She is amazing. I discovered her in January of this year, and I'm already influenced by her. Like,
Nice.
she has influenced my videos a lot too, because like when I discovered her, I was like, wow, she's kind of doing something similar to what I've been doing,
Right.
and she's also really good at the really artsy retro music videos. I'm pretty sure she even films with an old camera too,
You
and
can
she's
go ahead
awesome.
and drop a link if you like.
Yeah, she's a really, really, really good artist, and she gets a lot of Tori Amos influence and Kate Bush. She sounds like a
Mm,
modern Kate Bush,
mm,
and Fleetwood Mac too. She's very whimsical and witchy. I love her.
nice.
Send me her link when you can, like tomorrow.
Okay.
DM. Yeah.
What do you do as far as your videos? Because you definitely like, especially with the Comet and the Rainbow, there's just a feeling. I don't know if you're just using the filter after the fact, but it has a very old school, like I said, VHS vibes is what I get from it. But what do you do for your videos?
Well, for that one in particular, it's an After Effects kind of like I didn't use an old camera. I
Hmm.
film with a phone, so that could give it like it's not at the quality of like a movie or something. Like, it's not
Right, right,
amazing camera quality. And for that one, I wanted it to have the VHS vibe,
right,
so I put different kind of effects on it to make the quality look even lower.
right,
And the size of the video, that was actually a last minute thing. It was, wide, like
right,
landscape, like all my other ones. But then I was watching it and I'm like, I want it to have a VHS vibe. So then
right.
I cropped it. And as soon as I
Yeah.
did that, I'm like, there you go, it's done.
Yeah, yeah, no, it totally does that without you having to add in like, any of the generic VHS like tracking
Yeah.
issues and things of that nature. So yeah, no, it really works. And then as
Thank
far as
you.
like all your videos, you just use your phone generally?
Yeah, and I actually have a camera that I use sometimes, but I always find it easier to use the phone for some reason. I'm probably going to start using cameras more
Right.
because I know that I'd probably get a better, but sometimes I have a hard time working the cameras, I'm going to be honest. So I
Gotcha.
typically use my phone.
Yeah. Um, the next one, the video that we're going to watch is Nightwings, the reimagined video and song. This was a song that basically you redid of yours. Uh,
Yes.
Tell us a bit about why you did that, and you know uh, the song that you did that you liked that you didn't feel was the best version of the song. Is that what that was?
Well, whenever, like, as somebody who produces my own music and does it all
Hmm.
myself, I'll release something and a few months later, I'll listen to it and I'll be like, I shouldn't have done that. That could have been done better. And like, I
Hmm.
can't re-release every song, but
Right,
Nightwings, I really felt like needed to be released again because I loved the concept of the original video that I did, but I thought that it just didn't quite meet my expectations. I
right,
thought it could have been so much better. And the same thing for the mix. The reason I wanted to re-release it as a mix is because the original is around, I don't remember exactly how long it is. I think it's like, oh, it's over 5 minutes, and it's got a lot of long drawn out ambient sections, and not everybody's into that, and I just felt like it needed to be shortened to
right.
be a little bit more to the point, and I cut out those ambient sections in the new one.
Right.
That was what motivated me to do it, because the anniversary was coming up, and I'm like, I should really shorten this song and release it again. And then I'm like, oh, I should do the music video again, and that just kind of it happened like that.
I love who is it that said they got Svengoolie vibes from
That was Marcus Blackwell. I just met
Yeah.
Marcus tonight. There's quite a few new faces here tonight.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
cool. Great to
No,
meet you, Marcus.
I would take that as a complete compliment. But yeah, no, especially like this next one, definitely on the dark and creepy side, the haunting side. And yeah, I think though, you definitely, understandable that you release something and you're not 100% happy with it. And I think it's cool to do that from time to time and redo one. And, I think there is a point where you say, okay, I'm done and move on. But
Yeah.
I think that when there is something there that you're like, yeah, this could have just been this much better, and you do it with just that one, I think that's great.
Yeah,
'Cause,
especially an artist at my size too. Like if I was a big artist and that song like for some reason had millions of streams, it'd be a little bit
Right.
different. But I'm at that point where like nobody really knows the song anyway. So
Right.
give it another chance.
Right.
Is how I saw
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I can't do it with
Well,
all of them, absolutely.
and that's a good point though, because that's how a lot of the people that actually go viral with whatever, it doesn't matter if you're talking about a TikTok or YouTube, so many times the first time that they posted something is not necessarily the time that it took off, and reposting something is never a bad thing, especially if you do something to improve it. So
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that mentality.
Well, the Rolling Stones did that many times with their songs.
Right.
Re-recorded,
Yep.
re-released. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So did you want to get into the next song, Nightwings?
Yeah, I think we go and get into that.
Let's hear it. So this is Nightwings reimagined.
This isn't the first time I've been far from home. Mysteriously casual, but out of control. Drifting in wistfully colorful imagery. Oh, I'm caught in a mousetrap. Can somebody help me to see where I've been? Deliriously running away from the spin. The cat's in the bag and the dogs, they are bragging. And oh, I'm caught in between this
Heck yeah.
Wow, eh?
By the way, Marcus Blackwell says that that video strengthens his opinion that you are the best rock artist of 2024. So
Thank you. I don't consider myself a rock artist. Like, it's so crazy hearing all these people refer to me as like rock, and I haven't really considered myself a rock artist. Thank you so much.
And I like
Yeah.
what he said about the Ozzy Osbourne and Pat Benatar.
I saw that, and
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to unhear that. Now I'm gonna be listening to my voice and like, yeah.
Well, now we really got to get you
I'm-
together with Hetriani on that guitar, because there's your Randy Rhodes right there.
Yeah, that's a new one. I've been compared to a lot of vocalists, but I've never been compared. I've been compared to Pat Benatar, but never Ozzy Osbourne and Pat Benatar. Yeah. I'm never gonna be able to not listen for that now.
what a beautiful combination, and yeah, somehow I see it.
Yeah, that's a unique combination. That yeah.
Great to see you, Viv Sparrow. Big fan of Viv. She's so amazing, and she's in the chat just raving about how wonderful you are. She's an
Thank
amazing
you.
vocalist.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm going to continue with some shout outs here. We're almost there. Upcoming, Wes Herndon, Southern Storm promo link, November 16th. He has his premiere happening in the next few days. Please go follow this link. Tuesday, which is tomorrow, at 7 p.m., a premiere with Lady Campion, Life in Fear, a Illusion cover. Yeah, really cool. Thursday, November 21st at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, premiere with Viv Sparrow and Cold Acre. Wow, I can't wait for that one. This track's called Skyway Bridge. So it's going to be fantastic. And as I mentioned earlier, Viv was on that on Thursday, that show. Please go check out that link that we posted earlier for Viv's song. JJ, I'm sure will post it again. The fantastic jam. And then we have, don't forget, 15th Bend, November 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Track called I'll Be There and He'll Be Singing. So it's going to be a great track. So there's a section that I titled Do 'Em for Others. I know there's many of you out there that I've missed. But I'm going to shout these out here. Dan Anderson, Independent Many United, Lori's Mishmash, Leni Perez, Read Between the Lines, Rebel Rocker, Feisty Feather, who was in the chat earlier, DJ Big Red, of course. The show wouldn't be the show without him. Crimson Crux, Queen Survivor, Mike and Don, Genesian Music. There are so many people out there, so many kind souls sharing our links, our posts, our streams. It's just incredible, this community, how we can pull together. I've got this under milestones, but since we all know now it's Pookie Ann's birthday, we're adding this to the milestone. Happy birthday, Pookie. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever's left of it. So we got Hetriani's album release. Again, Hetriani getting all this love, and he deserves it. Yeah, so Soaring Dawn is available now on Bandcamp. Also, Dwight Carr, Someone Take the Wheel, is also available on Bandcamp. No Lake, as we called out last week, his fifth album, Electronic Anomaly, is out now on Bandcamp as well. And then Mike and Don, Invisible Reality, also available now on Bandcamp. If you can, whatever you got, support these artists. They worked really hard on putting these songs out for us, and all 4 of these albums are just fantastic. I'm going to finish off with some mentions here. We've got Lori's Mishmash, Gary Hubbs every Friday night, along with Lori at 12, and it looks like she's back in the swing of things. Dan Anderson every day at 1 o'clock. Brad Example, the after party is back. This week is featuring Valerie Bott. The Nut House, great to see you, brother. He is in the chat. Dead Pole Vault every Friday. Niels Hahn Dynasty was in the chat earlier. He probably still is now. A great channel. A lot of interesting stuff going on there. Really cool stuff. Creepy, an artist, storylines. This one is about a cross-dresser story. It's really cool. Please go check it out. It's about 30 minutes long, but it's just an amazing artist. Rich New Designs, Don Torgrosa, Chris Lane Sr., Camp G-May, Mr. Smith, Charlie Gabaldon, Valerie Bott, Axon Nacho, JM Unleashed. There's so many fantastic channels. JM's going to be on every Monday just before this show. Guitar Hack, The Falcrow, The Mix Club, Pompey Music. He's a music teacher. Rise of Dark Leela, Michael Songs. And then I want a special shout out. I might as well finish this list here. Special shout outs to a lot of these karaoke streaming channels and artists, fantastic singers. And I always started off with Miss High and Pendar. I love the Pegs and Pen show. Just fantastic individuals too, and great supporters of all of our channels. Jovel de Putzes.
Jovel. So amazing.
Friday mornings. Punk Media Karaoke. Leah Ramos, Mr. B's Music Addiction. Fantastic channel. A lot of fun there. Deb's Wood Burning Stove. CC Karaoke, a great Canadian. Mama Rose channel. Angela Tanzer. And my good friend, Together We Are Family. That does it for these shout outs for this week. And yeah. So at this point, if you don't mind, because I'm sure Lori's not going to go to bed until we play this next little promo reel that we put together and we play on every show. And this one is to celebrate all the pianists in our community and composers. These pianists and composers, I think, in my opinion, are underrated, undersubbed, and I think they're just fantastic. The piano, for me, has always been the root of music and an instrument I wish I'd learned how to play. I can fiddle around just a little bit with 2 fingers and maybe a few chords, but that's about it. These are some fantastic artists. I'm going to play this little promo reel. This one is backing track from Mark Navarro. And so please go offer up some love and support to these incredible artists. Yes, let's bring us back on. And that's our 12 of our favorite pianists and composers from our community. Welcome, Michael Lapenzi and Mike Shaner. Welcome. And let's get back to it.
All right. I was going to ask you because I know you get influenced by other music and you get influenced by movies, but what's the weirdest thing that's ever inspired you or made you, jump as a starting point, jumping off into a song? Is there anything that comes to mind?
To be honest, I don't really know. If there is anything like that ever happened, I cannot remember it for some reason.
Gotcha.
After I get off the show, I'm probably gonna think of like, oh, there was that one time. Oh, and that one time, and that one time. But I actually can't think of any like weird kind of things that started a song. But I'm sure that there's just a lot I'm forgetting.
Right. Gotcha. And to get back to movies, how important is that aspect to you, and how do you feel that it inspires you and influences what you do?
I think it's very important because here recently I've been trying to incorporate more of like storyline kind of things into my music videos. For Nightwings, even though you can't really tell anymore, because it's gone through so much when I was making it, that this idea doesn't really show as much as it did when I first started. But I was inspired by The Shining a little bit. But that was so early on that I kind of feel like you can't really tell anymore. But when I was trying to figure out how I was going to dress for the video, I was really inspired by Shelley Duvall and the way that she carried herself and the outfits that she wore. But to be honest, I don't really know if you can see that in the video anymore.
Right.
That was very at the beginning of the. But I get inspired by the vibes of movies like that.
Yeah, no, and I feel that, just like the mood, the environment, the setting, and how that kind of inspires you with what you do. I think there's a lot of stuff that kind of maybe just seeps through with what you do, even when you're not even intentionally doing it. Like you're talking about with The Shining, that's like an intentional thing that you set out to do, but there's probably stuff that just pops up.
Oh yeah, like definitely.
Yeah. Super cool.
Thank you.
Let's talk about, because we just had this segment with all these fantastic keyboard players. That's the word I'm
Yeah, that
use.
was really cool.
When did you first, learn to play keyboard? And, is that something that you can just sit down at a piano if you walk into a place that has a piano and actually play? Or is it more of, you build it as you go through, recording?
When I was really young, I had a little tiny like toy keyboard that I would fool with sometimes, but I didn't really. And I on and off during like when I was 13 in that period, I fooled with the piano a little bit then, but I didn't really start messing with piano hardcore into like last year.
Gotcha.
And I'm trying to get where I can just like whenever I go into thrift stores or antique stores and they have a piano, I do go over to it and fool with it. I'm definitely trying to get where I'm comfortable enough where I can sit down at any piano and play it.
Gotcha.
I'm not great at it at this point, but I'm definitely trying to get there.
Right.
But yeah, that's one reason I love going to thrift stores. Is I'm looking around for organs and pianos.
And it's funny, just from the vibe of your videos, I totally see you as a lover of thrift stores.
Oh yeah, I'm in thrift stores and antique stores all the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
And just another piece that shows that you so have this old soul. You really, really do, with the music that you love, and then the antiques and everything. So.
Yeah.
So great to see, a young artist that's, into all of these classics as far as the music, and then also into filmmaking at the same time, because I know you like a lot of the older films as well.
Oh yeah.
What just we're on the topic. What are some of your favorite movies?
Indiana Jones, Star Wars. I feel like I'm mentioning very, what's the word I'm looking for? These are very similar kind of vibes. But Indiana Jones, Star Wars, and we're going to horror movies now. Sleepy Hollow, The Shining. I love all of those classic Halloween films like that.
Right.
Great segue
I
into
love
the
all
next
the Tim
song.
Burton.
Right. So yeah, no, definitely fantasy and dark elements. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the next song, my favorite cover that you've done a lot of really cool covers, but I did not know this song. I've not even been able to find this song. It's not on Spotify, the original
Yeah,
Alice
it's
Cooper
not.
version.
It hurts my feelings so bad that it's not on Spotify, but it's on YouTube. But I don't know why he didn't put it on Spotify. It made me. I want to add it to my Halloween playlist.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. You just won David Cartret's heart. He's a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh
If
dear.
you had to pick one. Had to pick one.
It's been quite a few years since I sat down and watched all the Star Wars movies, but I've seen The Phantom Menace a lot. Those are my favorite Star Wars, the originals and then the prequels, which I feel like that's
Gotcha.
kind of an unpopular opinion, but I love the prequels.
Unpopular opinions, it doesn't matter, because my favorite is Return of the Jedi, and so many people clown on Return of the Jedi, and they don't like that that's my favorite. And I absolutely love the last one. I love Rise of Skywalker. So it's very Return of the Jedi, and that's why I love it. But yeah. Some people can get snobby with their Star Wars. Rogue
I
One
agree
is
with Abe.
fantastic. Rogue One is fantastic. I do love Rogue One. But yeah, so much fun. Any of them, doesn't matter really.
Yeah, the Star Wars community is a very, a lot of arguments happen in that community.
Right.
Very controversial.
We don't want to get this and turn this into anything controversial.
Oh, no.
But
Yeah.
You can send David Cartret the link to that community. He'll be there. Yeah.
So
All right.
the Alice Cooper cover. What was it made you want to cover this song?
Well, that was something that my parents always put on Halloween playlists, like not on Spotify, but just little things that they would make themselves. And I always loved that song. It was always so creepy to me. And I think that I'm probably a little bit biased because when you're little, things like that will be a lot creepier to you than they actually are. I probably feel like the song's a lot creepier than it actually is. But I always consider that song to be one of the creepiest and saddest songs. One of the creepiest vibes that I can think of. And that's why I wanted to do it, because I was listening to it one day and I'm like, I should really do this one because nobody knows the song. I could introduce this song to some people who've never heard it. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, and you nail it with the creepiness. It's has a like what's the word? Toy box, music toy box vibe, and then it's just I mean, you nail the creepiness of it. It's
Thank you.
That's a good description.
Yeah.
You just creep me out. Yeah. All right, let's play it. This house is haunted. I did not know it was a Alice Cooper cover until now. So
yeah.
I love Alice Cooper. So let's give this a spin.
I was sitting in my room, dark and gray and crying. Someone in my life I fear was at the point of dying. A cold wind blew right colors with him buried in his grave. This is where he climbed the tower. This is where he fell. And when his heart stopped beating, I went to hell. Oh, this is something. You drift through the living room. I watch my TV. I feel you sit down on the couch right here next to me. And then I feel your lips touch mine just like we used to do. I'm so happy all alone. Being here with you.
Amazing.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just amazing. Everybody in the chat too. Absolutely loving it.
I
Of
miss
course.
October so bad.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm like, you know, October's what I live for, basically.
Yeah,
So I
it's just-
feel you.
It went by so quick.
It did. Yeah. What a fantastic. You of course put out an EP in October that was Halloween themed, and you did that the year before. Is that something that you feel like you want to try to do each year, or?
Possibly, yeah. Obviously, I didn't do as much this year as I did last year. I put a lot. I put 3 covers out. Well, no, 2 covers and 1 original. And
Right.
to be fair, the original released at the very end of September, but I still count that
Right.
as being part of October. And I couldn't do that this year because it was just it was a lot of work.
Right.
So possibly, maybe I'll do another Halloween EP next year. We'll just see how it goes. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. So anybody that hasn't checked out Tabitha's channel and listened to and watched fantastic cover of the Ramones Pet Cemetery, of course, Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon.
Yeah.
And let's see, what are some of the other covers you've done? You've done the Dio, and I would expect probably more Dio in the future.
Probably. And also I did Street of Dreams by Rainbow too. I did
Nice.
that one.
Nice.
I don't know. There's probably some that I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, I did Cruel Summer.
That was the one I was
Yeah.
thinking. It's Cruel Summer. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that there might be maybe 1 or 2 I'm forgetting.
Right. Yeah. No, I love when you do the covers, because you totally make them your own. You really do. No matter what type of music it is, it sounds like a Tabitha Raines song once you put it out there. It doesn't sound
Thank
like you
you.
doing, whatever. Like I would love to hear you do some sort of Pat Benatar and put your own stamp on it. So
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. 'Cause I like Pat Benatar a lot. She's awesome.
Yeah, and Pookie was saying Rainbow in the Dark is an awesome cover. Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Yeah. And is there anything that we haven't mentioned or haven't talked about that you want to shout out or bring up or anything.
And
Well,
I
I
have
can't.
a question too.
Well, real quick, this isn't something that y'all didn't mention. It's something I didn't mention when we were talking about my background earlier, in music. One thing I really forgot to mention is that I've been singing basically my entire life. That I've
Nice.
always loved to sing, and that was really, I guess, what started me in music is because I loved to sing. I started
Mhm.
really hardcore singing at about 8 years old, and so I
Nice.
forgot to mention that earlier, and it's been bugging me. So I just
So,
had to throw
and
that
and
out
ha-
there real quick.
and so how did you start off singing? I mean, was this just singing at home or singing, um, you know, did you have training or what exactly?
Just singing. I've never had a vocal coach or anything like
Gotcha.
that. Just singing like Disney songs
Gotcha.
and My Little Pony stuff. I like to
Nice.
sing that kind of stuff growing up. So yeah, I just singing at home, I guess.
Right. Nice.
And what was your question?
Oh no, I just wanted to. You probably already answered this at the beginning of the show, but I'm old and I forget things. The Did your parents play an instrument? Where did you get your inspiration from? Was it a relative, a friend, a parent?
My dad is a really good guitar player, and that's where I got all of that from. He he
Gotcha.
he loved music, and he passed that down to me more than
Wow,
anything.
Nice. Nice.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. And as far as instruments and such, involved with anything like, band or anything like that, or choirs or anything like that?
Ask the question again. I think I got kind
Just
of.
it was asking if you had basically been trained in any sort of musical instruments or were involved with any
No.
sort of choirs or anything like that. Any sort of
N-
organized music.
no, never. I've taught myself how to do basically everything I know how to do. I've never had any training by anybody. I go watch like YouTube tutorials. Like I
Hmm.
say that I don't have a vocal coach, and I don't. But there's a lot of vocal coaches that I watch a lot on
Right.
YouTube. But that's how I teach myself
No,
mostly.
that's fantastic. No, super
Thank
super cool.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, just using YouTube and the free software available, and you doing what you have already done. I mean, that just blows me away. It's so amazing. It really
Thank
is.
you.
So we've got track number 5. We're approaching 9:33 now. So remember, everybody, Vince Janella is on now. To those of you who want to jump over, that's okay. Please do so. I will be there after this show. And then at 11 o'clock, we have Axe and Nacho, another fantastic show.
Yeah, always
Yeah,
so much fun. Excellent,
yeah,
Nacho.
yeah.
Yeah, so this next track, it definitely I feel like saving the best for last. Oh, I love this song. This is my favorite song of yours, Tabitha. So good in so many ways. It really like there's so many different aspects of it that I feel like it kicks it up a notch, and then it kicks it up another notch, and just so love it. And it's just so everything that you do, I feel like kind of wrapped into this one song. And man, it's just amazing. It would have been my pick, but you had already picked it.
Thank you.
Definitely one of my most listened to songs on Spotify this year. So
Oh,
Yeah, and that was the email I got from Chad. She probably already picked this one, but so I'll pick this one. So it was pretty cool.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, so good. Uh,
So
and, and that's what I really love about you as an artist is that every time that there is something that I'm like, this is my favorite song, you then I feel like just improve and up your game, and then you come out and just blow me away with something new. So very, very cool.
Tales told in the dark. Great to see you. Now here's a good tie. She does some amazing freaky stories. Yeah. She's a fantastic narrator too.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So you would love her channel. Please go check it out.
I
So
will.
Paresa.
Yeah. Well, why don't you real quick just tell us a little bit about that before we do jump into it?
Paresa, I originally came up with the weird kind of. What I like about Paresa is during the verses, it kind of has this almost, I don't know how to describe it, almost like these notes shouldn't be working together, but they do. And what I originally had for that one was just this weird sense, dun 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 dun, dun, and it was going like up and down. It would go up in key and then go back down, and it had chords behind it that I wouldn't think would work with that melody, but it did. And that one sat there for a few months, and I just I was going through my projects one night, and I was like, you know what? I really want to do something with this song. So that's kind of how I started working on Paresa.
Nice.
All right.
Anything in particular though trying to say with it? I don't have a theory on what it's about, but just thought I'd ask.
One thing I was thinking of, well, obviously you all know by now that I'm inspired by fantasy and fairy tales. I actually bought, right around the time I was writing this song, I bought a fairy statue that just sits on my shelf, and I was looking at it and I was like, this fairy looks like it was turned to stone. Man, I wonder if I should write a cool little song about this fairy. And that's how it started, but it's not really what it's about anymore. But I kind of see the song as being about the dangers of trying to be somebody that you're not. Like, oh, well, I want to be more cool, so I need to start being cooler. And what you're actually doing is you're destroying what was cool about you to begin with. That was what I was going for with the lyrics.
That's
That
fantastic.
is so cool.
And just so you know, you just answered the question that I had earlier about the odd inspiration. The statue.
Oh no, I did. Yeah, I just did.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I knew there was some sort of. I knew there was a story in there somewhere.
Yeah.
My next song's gonna be about Funkos.
Awesome. Yeah, do it.
Staring at them for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I knew I was forgetting one. So yeah, I did just answer your question.
So good.
All right. Shall we play it?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Paresa.
Used to be alive. Used to give her song to them. The words I never knew, but the magic was infectious. But they all ignored the sound. The way it all turned out. We're in the dark without the dawn. Can we return to how it used to be? Oh, tired of all the emptiness. She knew she had to find a way. But the light began to fade. Oh, how the darkness took it over. Why did it have to end like this? Perfect light could never change the truth. Oh no. Did the night begin to sing? Did the dream return to you?
Such an amazing song. So
Thank
good.
you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite songs of the year. I just can't get enough of it. It's I love the other people in the chat were commenting. You know, the drum beat, and then the when it kicks in with the guitar solo. I mean, there's just so many elements to it that are just so good.
It's just a
Um,
brilliant
you.
arrangement.
it is.
Really.
Yes. Yes. For
Yeah, I had
sure.
a lot of fun on that song. Like I put a lot of effort into every little detail about that song. It was
Yeah.
definitely one of my
It
favorites to work on.
Yeah,
it
Doorways said exactly like that. Yeah.
it shows that you do put so much effort into your songs and so much attention to detail with them. It really does show.
Thank you.
And I wanted to make sure I said hello to Robbie Stingel. Great to see you out there, Robbie, in the chat. Um, of course, it's been mentioned before, but he hit 3 million views on his YouTube channel here not too long ago. And man, what an
Nice.
accomplishment that is.
Really,
Yeah.
eh?
So,
Just
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
He works hard at it too.
Yeah,
I
oh
love
yeah,
it.
yeah. No, he's such a big-hearted person. Absolutely love Robbie. So much love for you, Robbie. Um, but yeah, I have had a lot of fun tonight. I'm so super happy that I was able to be here and talk with you, Tabitha. Such a fan, a really huge fan, and
Thank you, Chad.
it's an honor I feel to know you, to consider you a friend, and for to be able to see you grow as an artist, and I just can't wait to see, what you do next, because every time you just are absolutely fantastic, and I just hope that you I guess take the words to your song, Paresa, and don't change. You keep that innocence, keep that imagination, and just keep experimenting with your music and going in all kinds of different directions. And man, there's just no telling what you're going to be able to do. I mean that with all my heart. You were absolutely amazing. You really are.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate everything that you've done for my channel, because like before, like you mentioned how you discovered my channel back in like April of 2023. That was a big turning point for my channel when you played my
Nice.
music. Like that was
Nice.
really helpful. I just thank you for that. Thank
Well,
you. I really appreciate it.
Well, he brought
thank you.
me to your direction, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this show being here on Frank's show, and then also if you start, pushing yourself out there and, submitting to some of the other channels, and I can definitely send you some info on that. You're
Yeah, cool.
definitely gonna just keep growing and getting bigger and bigger as you continue to just get better and better. So.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into stuff like that. I definitely have to start trying harder to get my music
Yeah.
out there a little bit more. It's a very challenging thing.
Yeah. Well, just know that, I know how there can be like a want to do it, and then at the same time maybe you hold yourself back. And I'm talking just from my own experiences with doing things and taking action that I should take, and not necessarily doing that. What you do with your music and your videos is just so great, and there are so many people that are just waiting to hear it and waiting to experience what you have to offer, and
Thank you.
And
mean
I
that
do-
100%.
And I want to add that these communities that we're talking about, Tabitha, and I know you had mentioned you're introverted, but these communities are going to be so loving and welcoming. It's just going to feel like family. You jump in for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and you leave. You know what I mean? You check something out, and You're going to get a lot of love from a lot of people in this chat, I can tell. And I hope, I wish you continued success. I mean, I can only see that in your future. You're just a brilliant songwriter, and I'm sure glad that I got to referee the fight between Crimson Crux and Chad. Yeah. So this is thank you very much, Chad, for having Tabitha on this show. This has been a fantastic show. It's,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've really
definitely.
had fun. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Tabitha. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and Justine Casper had said in the chat that you're an inspiration, and you definitely are, Tabitha. You may not realize it, but you are such an inspiration. You really are.
Thank you.
Well, this I guess it's that time now. Is there anything I wanted to add? I know this closeout song is from D. Lynn, and it's called YouTube. Tabitha, I think you're gonna love this, because this song that she wrote, the backing track was Reinhold's track, and it just kind of encapsulates what this community is all about. I think she did a fantastic job writing this. She was on the show not long ago. And before I play any, first I want to thank all the mods and all the supporters out there and everybody in the community. Keep creating, keep being who you are. I've mentioned this before. I consider you all part of family, and you mean the world to me. In many ways, I think you've helped me through difficult times from the 2020 onward, and I just love you all, and I appreciate you all. Once again, any final words, Tabitha?
It's been a really good show, and I guess I already said this, but thank you guys so much for having me. You guys in the chat have been so cool and kind, and I really appreciate you guys. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right.
I just want to say, it is the month of thankfulness and gratitude, and that was very well said, Frank, with what you said. And I feel the same way with all the artists that I meet, that I play, and then all the fantastic people that watch the streams. So many amazing people, out there in the chat, and I'm just happy to be a part of it and happy to be here, Frank. Anytime, you'll have me, and hopefully we'll get Andy and his brother AJ,
just gonna say,
brothers on
be
guitar on the show. Well, that's the goal, to work on to get them on the show next. So, but yeah, super fun. As always, great seeing you again, Tabitha. Great seeing you again, Frank. And I do want to just say love and positivity to everybody that's watching this.
Have a good night, all. Thank you all for coming out. And now to close out the song with D. Lynn, YouTube.
Where the stars shine, musicians playing guitars and feeling fine. They're singing songs and posting every day, making videos in their own special way. YouTube, where the music's alive, singing, playing, posting all the time. Comment, like, and share the groove on YouTube, all improve. On YouTube, where we all improve. From bedroom studios to big They're jamming out, rocking through the night. Fans are listening, tapping to the beat, leaving comments, making it so sweet. Collabs and covers, originals too. Every day there's something fresh and new. Join the fun, let your voice be heard. On YouTube, we're in our own world. YouTube, where the music's loud, singing, playing, posting all the time. Comment, like, and share the groove. On YouTube, where we all improve. On YouTube, where we all improve. Live streams, the excitement's real.